And we're back. I keep trying to work on some more cook-ups and different things like that, but apparently they're just rolling out more and more products. This one is actually pretty interesting because I'm an owner of the book Omnisphere, and looks like we got Omnisphere 3 before we got GTA 6. Let's take a look. All right, that guy, he is so happy to be on stage right now. Let's scroll back to that cheese. That's a man having fun. And to showcase, they plastered up a giant screen behind him. All right, let's see. Let's see what Omnisphere 3 has.
We have been busy, and we're super excited to reveal the next generation of our flagship instrument, Omnisphere 3. Our incredible team has been working on this for many years in secret, handcrafting it with a lot of love and a lot of care, and so it's really a thrill to finally get to show it to you guys today.
I like how they just left the GUI the same, but it looks like maybe the patching's a little bit different. It's an old interface, but that's fine. That's fine. Let's continue.
Omnisphere has something to offer every kind of creator, from beginner to power users and composers, from the advanced sound designers out there to music producers in just about any kind of genre you can imagine. You have probably heard Omnisphere because it's everywhere. So this new version offers a ton of powerful new synthesis features, an incredible new library of sounds, totally redesigned effects that we're going to talk about later, and much, much more. There's a ton to cover, and we're just going to give you a little taste here in this video, so let's get to it.
I wonder how many gigs this thing is. For you Omnisphere guys or Keyscape guys, these things take up some space. Let's see, does it actually say how much space required? You know, if you open the old one, you know, it came with a user guide, and it also came with these install USBs. Came with these sticks right here. These were kind of cool, but everything's digital now.
Okay, so let's start with the sound, because Omnisphere 3 has thousands and thousands and thousands of amazing new sounds from the award-winning Spectrasonics team of incredible artists and sound designers. In fact, it comes with 18 brand new libraries. And these are all organized by different sonic vibes and carefully set up for all of our different kinds of users so that everyone gets a great experience. Now, if you're worried that you won't be able to find the sounds you need because there's so many,
if you can't find the sounds you need a shrink. There's so many sounds just in Omnisphere 2. Thousands and thousands of sounds. There's gonna be some sounds in here that you can use.
We've got some great news because we've definitely been listening to you guys. In fact, I personally curated and went back and remastered the entire factory library with the latest features and effects, and we've come up with a whole new organizational system that's way more intuitive, and it makes it so much easier to find exactly the sounds you need when you need them.
I wonder if we're still gonna click and get the preview, and you're just gonna wait for the preview, click, wait for the preview, click. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind the previews, They kind of get frustrating sometimes, but on my PC, it tends to be a while to scroll through sounds. There's so many sounds to scroll through. So let's see how they have it organized.
The other thing you're probably wondering is just how much hard drive space are all
How much space? There it is. How much space? Okay.
these thousands of new sounds going to take up on my computer? Well, believe it or not,
Believe it or not, you're going to need teraflops. Teraflops of hard drive space for your computer.
due to our new lossless optimization technology, Omnisphere 3 takes no more space on your system than Omnisphere 2 did, which is crazy. Okay,
Still a lot of space, but that's okay.
next up are some killer new features that make being creative with Omnisphere way faster for every kind of user.
Like how they just gloss past all the synths and everything else. We're going to put it right into a DAW. I mean, these guys did make a lot of sounds for some keyboards. Again, giant TV of Omnisphere.
Whether you're an advanced sound designer or a preset surfer, a lot of the time what you really need is just to quickly sculpt the patch to fit your music. The new global controls let you customize any sound in Omnisphere incredibly fast. These smart controls analyze and adapt to the patch automatically, so they always work with musical results, no matter what patch you select. Let's check it out. All right, so let's select a patch. I'm gonna go up to the directory here, and here are all 18 of Omnisphere's new libraries. Let's check.
Okay. Organize. Interesting. Ambient dreams. So like, maybe these are like expansion style?
Check out analog vibes. And how about let's select a pad. We got all these different pads. I'm gonna go down to pads Neo Soul. And I'm gonna try this Neo reverse patch. Nice patch. Let's add some resonance. Also nice, super resonant. Let's add some unison.
They're starting to layer out pretty good. I like how fast. Again, sound designer. I like making sounds. Preset, chunky. Okay. I like how fast that was.
Now, that attack for me is a bit long, so let's pull the amount of that attack down just a little bit. And if we bring the attack all the way down, we'll get a pluck. Now let's...
Are we going to gloss over how different those sounds were? Like fast change in the sounds.
Let's add some ambience or reverb to that.
Sleek. I like it.
Although these controls look simple, there's a lot of sophisticated things going on underneath the hood. For example, this ambience control is analyzing all of the reverbs and delays and microphone positions used in the patch. Let's find a patch where I can show you specifically what I'm talking about. Let's go to scoring organic, and let's try some sort of percussive tonal patch. These metallophones are sampled beautifully. Let's try this triangle beater 1. Now, if we increase the ambience all the way to the right, we are going to be hearing just the far microphones. And if we increase the length, we are increasing the time of the reverb. Now inversely, if we bring the amount all the way down, we are hearing just the close mono mic. So obviously this is very, very helpful, and this applies to any patch that you're using. So let's try another one. I'm going to use this patch, covert percussion, low and high. So let's listen to this. Now I'm just going to use the length control and we're going to dry it up a bit. Let's bring that back up. And now we're going to increase the length to make it even more crazy. So not
I don't even know what to say. I like how simple that is for changing and sculpting the sound. I think the one thing that drives me nuts when working on music is sometimes you're always reaching and you're grabbing for additional FX plugins to kind of change up the preset. Having it built in and having it change so fast like that's really nice.
only is this super useful, but it can be highly creative as well. And now let me show you something truly remarkable, mutations. This amazing feature instantly makes fascinating and useful variations of any patch. Let's try this with an orchestral strings patch. This Adagio string symphony is a beautiful patch, and if you look over here on layers, you'll see there are 4 layers. Let's listen to it. If I click this button, mutate, boom, we have a brand new patch, a variation on what we just played. A beautiful patch that doesn't even exist in Omnisphere. Let's try it again.
What? I don't know what to say. That is interesting. I don't think I've seen anything like that. People are gonna have to start stepping their game up. That's interesting. Wow, okay. I mean, the way that I can think about it, like when you're doing sound design, or even when you're building like preset patches on your Phantom, your Modi-X, whatever you're using, I mean, the key is to stack those layers the right way and kind of have certain instruments more present in the front, and then you have accompanying instruments to give it more sound or texture, and just how fast he was able to just change that patch up. That's pretty dope.
Let's try it again. Super cool. And what's really interesting is that that's a brand new patch. Nobody else has that.
I normally don't get FOMO, but it's getting tempting.
Let's try using this extreme method where it might even take us even further away. That's cool. It even introduced a new synthwave.
They got a Jupiter 8 in here? I haven't used Omnisphere in a long time. I don't remember there being a Jupiter 8 in here.
Let's try it one more time. Wow, what a cool sound. It's important to remember that all of your mutations are automatically saved and dated for you so you can come back to them later. And remember, nobody has these patches except for you.
Omnisphere 3 has so many new synthesis features that make it even more.
Okay. What's with this Steve Jobs look? Hold up. All right. Strange outfit. Okay, Apple, continue.
More inspiring for all our creative patch designers out there. With new full support for MPE, the MIDI polyphonic expression standard, the sky's the limit. Let's jump in and find out more.
Omnisphere 3 has so many new synthesis features, we could easily spend an entire video on each one. So I'm just going to give you a taste of a few here. Have you ever heard of a frequency shifter? It's one of the oldest electronic devices, made originally in 1964 by Harold Boda, who was one of the OG godfathers of the synthesizer. Now, traditionally, you could only use a frequency shifter on the entire sound, which makes it more of an effect rather than an expressive synthesis method. Until now. The new dual frequency shifter in Omnisphere 3 not only gives you two of them to use in series or in parallel, but it's also the first ever polyphonic frequency shifter, and it can track the keyboard as well, making it infinitely more useful as a method of synthesis. So for example, if we were to use polyphonic aftertouch to modulate the frequency values, we can create really expressive and interesting sounds like this.
He's in a trance right now. He is having fun.
There are tons of new harmonically rich and expressive wavetables that have been added to Omnisphere's oscillators, opening up all kinds of new sonic possibilities. Let's have a few examples. We're going to use this Origami Animals patch. And the cool thing about Omnisphere is that you've got the ability to have these modulating sounds and wavetables and a beautiful woman's choir layered underneath. Let's try something else out. And let's go for this Elite Swiper. Fun. Let's try something else. Let's go into, let's say, electronic production. And let's go with the Plux of Convergence.
That sounds like something you'd throw into a Pixar movie.
Let's get a little harder now. Let's look in the hard edges and bass sounds and stabs category. And let's go for this Foul Stabba. Oof, just nasty. These new wavetables are amazing.
That sounds like Omnisphere.
Quadzone is an incredibly powerful new synthesis feature that allows you to take the 4 layers in a patch and arrange and modulate them in some very cool new ways. The notes mode allows easy creation of splits. So you can see here I've got 4 different layers that are on different parts of the keyboard, like a standard split arrangement. Now I can also move and overlap the regions and mute them, and then we'll do some crossfading.
I wish more keyboards would have something like this. Just give us some software that we can plug in and easily layer up our sounds. Small side rant, but I'm glad that they're able to put it into a piece of software. Thanks, Omnisphere.
So you can do positional crossfades and all kinds of stuff. And in this example, you can see how sophisticated you can get because you can do multiple zones. And this is really amazing because it lets you have different sounds on each key. So if I play this note here, that's going to be a different sound if I play this note. So each one's got a different sound. All right,
We're not just going to squeeze past that. That is really cool to be able to build something like that, patch it out. That sounds great. I like that.
Let's take a look at velocity switching, because we can easily change it to velocities. So down here I've got, if I play soft, I get that. And if I play hard, I get that. And then in the middle, I've got, so I can kind of do. Okay, but the most powerful mode is fader, which lets you move between the zones with a continuous source, like a MIDI fader. So let's take a look at that. You can see here we've got 4 overlapping and crossfading zones, and those are all controlled from a MIDI fader. So if I play a note down here, I've got a very simple sound on layer A, and then as I move the fader,
Your MIDI controller just got more useful. That is cool. All right, continue. By the way, I didn't realize what MIDI controller he was using. Oh man, I should know the name of this. If you know the name of it, comment down below. I was eyeballing one of these a while back, and the price tag on it, I was like, I don't know what I'm really gonna get this much after touch and everything else out of, but this keyboard, it might make its way to the studio when I get my Hans Zimmerman on, okay?
so that's amazing that you can do all of that just with a fader. But the really amazing thing is that we can use any modulation source to do all kinds of complex fader crossfading using anything that is polyphonic as a source. So if we take the envelopes, for example, we can have the envelope sweep through the different crossfadings of the Quadzone. So you get these very interesting harmonics. And a sound that is something that you really haven't heard before. Another thing we can do is you can, of course, modulate it with an LFO. And with polyphonic aftertouch, of course, you can speed up the LFOs.
This is what I'm excited about. I know a lot of people are worried about AI taking our jobs, but it's nice to see that they're finally pairing up polyphonic aftertouch and everything on certain keyboards. There's other keyboard companies that need to start adding them to their lineup, but it's a conversation for a different time. But you're seeing now the plugins and the keyboards really starting to line themselves up together to get more usefulness out of this technology.
That's really, really cool. And now even our MPE sources can be used to go through Quadzone. And this is amazing. Right now I'm using the Osmos to do this.
He ruined it. It's the Osmos. You don't have to comment anymore. Found it out.
Which has all kinds of different MPE dimensions. And what we're going to use is some of the new sound sources, because we have beautiful deep sampled
Is he smoking a bong?
winds from Pedro Eustache. And so this first layer
is a joke, but that instrument, that's a weird looking instrument. It looks like an ostrich egg because it's an ostrich egg.
Is Pedro playing a ostrich egg. It's a blown ostrich egg, a real one, that he turned into an ocarina. And then the second layer is Pedro playing his flute, whispering through it to create the harmonic series of overtones as he's breathing and whispering through it. So that makes a really interesting layer to have, and I'll bring that in using MPE. So the first thing we're going to hear is the blown ostrich egg when I play normally. And you could hear that the new legato also is very, very smooth, very impressive. And so now when I dig into the note, you're going to hear those overtones. So that's super, super fun. Let's apply that to another one of the new beautiful sound sources, which is our new Italian cello, which is just gorgeous. And what we're going to hear is when I press down gently on the key, that's going to bring in the bowing. And then when I dig into the key, you're going to hear a cello that's an octave higher being added. So let's check that out.
It's like having an orchestra at your fingertips. Okay. Before I get too excited, I want to scoot over a little bit more because I don't have anything MPE crazy in here.
There's been a major overhaul to the analog synthesis engine in Omnisphere, and it now sounds and behaves more analog than ever. You've now got 35 completely brand new filters.
Don't say that to the analog guys. The analog guys will jump down into your comment section and tell you, Omnisphere, it's not real analog.
That take inspiration from classic analog hardware, circuit modeled filter saturation, that coveted analog pitch drift, and a new glide module that models the analog portamento behavior of various vintage synths. Let's take a look at some of this stuff. So let's check out this drift feature, and let's listen to it using this great patch, this CS80 Driftorama. And as you'll see here, the drift dial is about midway. And essentially this is modeling the behavior of an analog synth, a vintage analog synth, where the oscillators are subtly drifting naturally in terms of pitch and phase. So let's listen to this patch right now. Let's listen to it with it all the way off to hear what it sounds like with no drift. It still sounds nice, but it's definitely a bit more musical when we have some drift engaged. Let's bring this dial up almost to the maximum.
Crank it.
A nice amount. Let's listen to what this sounds like now.
What keyboard does he have? I mean, okay, I'm apparently way behind in times. I don't know what he's using. However, the analog drift, that's pretty cool. I do a lot of sound design in the Phantom, and they have an analog fill fader that you can pull, and that gives you that kind of drift effect in there. So adding it to their analog lineup, pretty smart.
And of course, from day one, Spectrasonics was founded on the immense possibilities of creative sampling. So we're always over here discovering crazy new recording techniques to grow Omnisphere's unique core sound source library. With version 3, we've just expanded it with a vast array of new deep sampled sound sources that explore new sonic realms and take.
That guy is making some crazy instruments. We can't go past this guy. Hold on. He's blowing into something there. He's got some over here. He's got his flute. He's got an ocarina here. Okay.
Our creative sampling work to entirely new places. You'll discover a blown ostrich egg, tonal sand, nickel harpa, celestiphone, lyre harps, magic wand metallophones, the gorgeous sul tasto cello, percussive snow, piano.
Okay, I'm sorry. I felt like there for a second I was being trolled. He said percussive snow. I'm assuming somebody's patting snow. These guys are, sound design is very interesting. If you ever watch the Foley guys, I mean, they make sound out of everything. But just how he said percussive snow.
Harmonics, tongue slap flutes, and so much more. And now let's talk about some really huge news. We are strong believers in the idea that synthesizers are always the most inspiring when you can interact with them physically. So we've been hard at work here and are happy to announce that we have vastly expanded our hardware integration. Omnisphere 3 now supports every major brand with over 300 new profiles. Best of all, it's no longer limited to just synthesizers, but we now support all controllers too. Check out how easy it is to use.
All right. At least they didn't pull a Native Instruments and be like, I know you guys waited 14 years. We gave you stem separation. All right, go ahead, give us that update money. I mean, they packed a lot in here. I'm curious on the price, but let's see.
Hardware integration bridges the gap between both hardware and software worlds, giving you hands-on control of Omnisphere. One of the coolest things about the new hardware integration support is you might not even have to buy anything new. Many of you probably already have a supported synth or controller sitting around your studio. For instance, over here, I have the Akai MPK Mini Plus, which I love. I use it on the road all the time.
Did the Akai just drop a new controller too?
And in my studio. It's really small. So to get this set up, it's quite easy. All we have to do is go up to the hardware menu and go down to our brand, Akai in my case, and then go down.
Oh, I see. All right. Smart. So basically what they did is they MIDI mapped your MIDI controllers for you so you don't have to sit and tinker around. These guys are nice. They're saving you time. They said, you know what? We'll take care of the hard part. It's MIDI mapped. I like that. That's nice of them. Because there's a lot of VSTs that, you know, people will ask me, hey, you know, with the SL, they'll say, hey, how do I MIDI map and can I change presets and yada yada on the board? I think a lot of people are seeing that we want to start feeling our music with our hands again. MIDI controller.
Find our keyboard, MPK Mini Plus, and boom. Now this controller is controlling Omnisphere and it's controlling the global controls. So let's check this out. So we got cutoff here. Got some resonance. And we even have the envelope. got vibrato.
I mean, we don't have to dive too much into that. I mean, I think that's what manufacturer of these VSTs plugin companies should be doing. Because MIDI mapping sometimes is a pain. It's a pain, especially if you have tons of plugins and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna preset browse. But when you start to MIDI map and you start to change and blend the sounds yourself, you're getting the feel of actual workstations or synthesizers on your MIDI controller. Let's keep looking. New effects.
We have spent years completely redesigning the effects in Omnisphere with state-of-the-art component model technology. With 35 brand new incredible sounding effects units, bringing the grand total to nearly 100, it's pretty safe to say that Omnisphere now has the most comprehensive suite of high-quality effects of any synthesizer ever made.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think a reason why a lot of VSTs and instruments and things like that start to sound samey is because it's all the same effects. I mean, the Phantom has the same effects that they've had in their boards forever. They sound the same. I haven't dived too much into that keyboard, but effects can really, really spice up your sound design. Let's go. Okay. It's just gonna show us a rollout of the sound effects. Let's see if it shows anything.
As a special bonus, Omnisphere 3 includes an OmniFX rack plugin, which lets you use all these.
Yes, FX rack. That's really smart. That's good. Let's go.
Incredible effects on anything.
All right. How much does it cost? Can you tell us how much it costs? All right. Before we finish, how much is the update? Let's Google it. Let's see. Okay. $200 for that upgrade. If you're an Omnisphere user, I mean, it's a no-brainer. $200 for the upgrade. That's not bad at all. Dang, I want a box. I want a cool box. I miss this. I'm an old guy. Give me. I want to touch my music. I want to hold my VST. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Is this something you're picking up? $200? I'm gonna pick it up. I held off on everything else. I'm gonna pick it up. We'll see you on the next one.